What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing week 17 predictions. There's only 2 weeks left until the playoffs. We had such good games last week, like that Chargers game, the Panthers game, the Commanders game, and of course that Bills game. The Patriots almost giving the Bills a scare. But now, Chiefs versus Steelers. I will be taking the Kansas City Chiefs to win this game because the Chiefs are the number one in their conference. They always win the close games, which is why I expect this game to be 21-17, a Chiefs victory. Next, we got Texans versus Ravens. I'm going to be taking the Baltimore Ravens to win this game because they just absolutely destroy their division rivals Steelers, showing time and time again that they are the best team in the AFC North and maybe one of the best in the AFC. While the Texans, they have been looking significantly worse than last year. If you don't remember, last year the Ravens absolutely destroyed them in the divisional round. So I expect kind of a similar thing to happen, but except it maybe like a little bit closer. Like what I'm saying is like 31-20 around that range. Next we have Bears versus Seahawks. I will be taking the Seattle Seahawks in this game. The Bears have lost like 9 in a row. They're clearly tanking for the draft right now. Like, I don't know what happened to them, man. They started 4-2, and ever since that game against Washington, they've been looking like the worst team in the NFL. Final score prediction, 27-10. Next, we got the Patriots versus Chargers. I'll be taking the Chargers in this game. Chargers, they're looking like a really good team. They just beat the Denver Broncos, which, as we know, are like equivalent to the Chargers level. They pulled off a miracle comeback, 17 points, and now they're the number 16. Meanwhile, the Patriots, they're one of the teams that are fighting for the number 1 overall pick. So I think the Patriots are definitely going to tank this game. The Chargers are going to take advantage, getting a huge win, 37-17. Next, we got Bengals versus Broncos. I'll be taking the Bengals in this game. Their firepower offense will be way too much for this Broncos defense to handle, although this will be a pretty competitive game. I say 31-27, and the Bengals come on top. Next, we got Rams versus Cardinals. I'll be taking the Los Angeles Rams. I say 21-17, a pretty more typical low-scoring game. But the Rams, they just know how to win, and they've shown that in the last 4 matches. While the Cardinals, they have been struggling a lot, losing the last 4 or 5. Next, though, we do have the Eagles versus Cowboys. I'll be taking the Eagles in this game. Even though Jalen Hurts is injured, it really hasn't made a change. Like we saw last game, the Eagles only lost because Jalen Hurts wasn't there. But even though he wasn't, Saquon Barkley is a demon, and he should be able to win this game for the Eagles. I say 27-24 in favor of Philadelphia. Next, we do have the Buccaneers versus Panthers. I'll be taking the Buccaneers in this game. One team is clearly better than the other, and it's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They have a way better offense, and the Panthers' defense has been consistently struggling throughout this whole season. Final score prediction, 35-17. Next, we have the Bills versus Jets. I'll be taking the Buffalo Bills to win this game. I think it's pretty obvious here. I'd say 31-7. Next, though, we do have Colts versus Giants. I'll be taking the Indianapolis Colts to win this game because they are significantly better than the Giants. The Giants are actually fighting. They actually hold the NFL's number 1 overall pick, which basically, for you new guys here, basically just means they're the worst team in the NFL. And I don't have them beating a team that's not the worst team in the NFL. Final score prediction, 24-10. Colts easy victory. Next, we have Saints versus Raiders. I'll be taking the New Orleans Saints to win this game. The Raiders, even though they got a win against the Jaguars, it's just the Jaguars. It's not that big of a deal. I think the Saints are going to win this game with ease because they are a much better team, even though they got shut out by the Packers. I mean, what happened in that game? Both these teams are pretty bad, however. I just think the Saints are slightly better. Let's say 14-10 victory for the New Orleans. Next, we do have the Titans versus Jaguars. Both teams are terrible this year, but if you look at their games individually, you'll see that the Titans have been putting up way better results than the Jaguars. And I think that the Titans are going to win this game 26-17. Next, we have Browns versus Dolphins. I'll be taking the Dolphins in this game. They're going to fight till the end. They still have a very slim chance to make the playoffs. Well, the Browns, they're probably just tanking for a higher draft pick. Give me the Dolphins 34-10 in this game. Next, we got Vikings versus Packers. This will be a very fun game to watch. I will be taking the Green Bay Packers to stun the Minnesota Vikings at home. This will be a pretty competitive game, don't get me wrong. Probably very high scoring. And the final score prediction, I say 34-31 Packers. Now in Sunday Night Football, we have Commanders versus Falcons. I'll be taking the Washington Commanders in this game. They just took down the almighty Philadelphia Eagles, although they would not have done it if Jalen Hurts wasn't injured, let's be real. But they're still significantly better than the Falcons. The Falcons can never beat the Eagles. I just think that there's a clear difference between these teams, and the Commanders are way better. Now on Monday Night Football, we got Lions versus 49ers. This is a pretty easy one to predict. The Lions are going to win this game. This won't even be close. The Lions are arguably NFL's best team this year. Well, the 49ers, they have fallen off this year. They basically are out of the playoffs. And I think that the Lions are going to school them 34-13. This won't be close. But that's all for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider subscribing. It's free. Have a great Christmas and holidays.